We live in a world where almost everyone is trying to prove something. Prove they're right. Prove they matter. Prove they're worth listening to. People explain, over-explain. Some even beg just to be seen. But a Stoic doesn't do that. A Stoic doesn't chase attention. A Stoic doesn't run after validation. A Stoic doesn't try to convince the world of his value. Because he knows one thing: silence is strength. See, most people, when they're hurt, rejected, or misunderstood, they panic. They chase. They text again. They try to fix what's already broken. They explain themselves to people who already decided not to understand. But that isn't courage. That's fear wearing a brave mask. You call someone, they ignore it. You message, no reply. So you write a long emotional paragraph, hoping they'll finally value you. But here's the truth nobody wants to face. The more you explain, the more power you lose. That's not Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, all of them mastered silence. Not because they didn't care, but because they understood a simple rule. The more you value things outside your control, the less control you have. When you beg for someone's attention or ask them to understand you, you're giving them your peace. You're saying, my emotions depend on how you respond. That isn't peace. That's prison. Real strength? It's when someone disrespects you, and you walk away without saying a single word. Not because you're cold, but because you respect yourself too much to argue. Your dignity doesn't shout. It doesn't chase. It doesn't explain. It simply detaches. This silence isn't emptiness. It's discipline. It's self-respect. It's inner power. And the truth is, your silence scares people. Because when you stop reacting, they lose the control they thought they had. So today we're breaking down 6 truths. 6 reasons why silence is a Stoic superpower. If you're tired of overgiving, if you've ever been misunderstood, if you've ever chased someone who walked away, then this is your turning point. Before we begin, like this video if it already hits your heart. Comment your affirmations. Share it with someone who needs it. And don't skip, because one single line can change the way you carry yourself forever. Drop this in the comments. My silence is my power. 1. Silence makes them feel your absence more than your words. When you stop explaining, when you stop chasing, people suddenly start thinking. Silence doesn't push, it pulls. When someone hurts you, your first instinct is to speak, to defend, to prove your worth. But the more you talk, the less they listen. The more you chase, the farther they go. Yet when you become silent, they feel the loss. Your absence speaks louder than any paragraph you could send. Silence becomes a mirror. I saw what you did. I felt it. And I value myself too much to explain it to you. That silence isn't ego. It's clarity. It's power returning to you. 2. Silence helps you hear the truth, your truth. Noise confuses. Silence reveals. Most people run to others when hurt. For advice, for validation, for quick fix. But the Stoic turns inward. In silence, the mind stops screaming, and the truth finally whispers. They never respected me. I deserve better. I don't need closure. I need peace. Silence gives you space to separate emotions from values. And the moment you get silent, you stop reacting and start understanding. 3. Begging for closure is betraying yourself. Closure feels good, but begging for it destroys. You doubt if someone really cared. You wouldn't have to beg. Your silence becomes the closure they never gave. Because when you chase closure, you're asking the same person who hurt you to heal you. Stoics didn't explain their philosophy. They embodied it. You don't need them to understand your pain. You need to stop giving them the power to cause more. Your silence is your goodbye. Your peace is the closure. 4. Silence exposes what words try to hide. Words can lie. Silence cannot. People can talk beautifully. Apologies, excuses, promises. But silence reveals who they really are. Stop talking. Watch instead. Who checks in? Who disappears? Who gets angry that you're no longer reacting? Their reaction to your silence tells you everything. Silence makes masks fall. Actions speak. Truth appears. 5. Not explaining yourself is real confidence. When you're misunderstood, you want to defend yourself. It's natural, but explaining yourself to people who already chose not to understand you, that's fear. The Stoic knows his intentions, his actions, His value. He doesn't need approval to validate his character. People will call you cold, selfish, changed. But losing people who never saw your worth is not a loss. It's alignment. Your silence says, I don't need to prove myself to stay true to myself. 6. Your silent detachment is the lesson. Walking away quietly is louder than any fight. You don't slam doors. You don't send emotional endings. You simply leave, and that silence becomes the lesson they never forget. People don't learn from arguments. They learn from your absence. When you stop reacting, they finally face themselves. And if they never realize what they lost, that's okay. The lesson was for you. You finally learned that your peace is sacred, that not everyone deserves an explanation, that sometimes silence is healing. Detachment isn't cold. It's choosing yourself. Final message. You don't have to chase. You don't have to beg. You don't have to explain. Your silence is not weakness. It's control. It's clarity. It's self-respect. Every time you stay silent, you become stronger. Every time you walk away peacefully, you grow. Every time you choose dignity over reaction, you reclaim yourself. Let your silence be your final word. Not from ego, but from deep, unshakable self-worth. Drop this final affirmation. My silence is my last word and my most powerful one.